Disclaimer. This live and things that will be discussed tonight are not to cause hatred or be on some anti-Semitism. Did I say it right? Anti-Semitism. But to go deeper into history about our past, about banks, and about the structure of our politics and what's going on behind the scenes. So stay tuned.
The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
All right. We are back with another one. Yeah, we back, baby. I said this shit pink. Why not purple? We're back with another one. We're on Record Live. King MattTheGod. Back with another one. Hell, Hydra. Don't get the hand in there. Yeah, back up. Hell, Hydra. No, for real. Hell, Hydra. The Holocaust Never Ended. Part 2. I know probably some of y'all probably haven't checked that video out. Check it down in my live stream playlist. Hell, Hydra. My thing, and pretty much damn near fact that everyone is waking up to, that on the Holocaust with the Jews, the converts, it's like a lot has been coming out that maybe everything didn't happen the way it happened, and maybe it was something a little deeper, sinister to why. I'm gonna call it Mustache Man. I'm gonna say it once. Adolf, motherfucker. Yo, this stream shut down. You'll know why, because I pushed the limit. You already know we live in a world that you can't talk about them people. And that's crazy. Like I said, Adolf, the Mustache Man. Some people in the comments, they often call him the painter. They be like, the picture was right. Bro, like, maybe the Mustache Man was going after this group of people for a reason. And we're going to go deeper into it because I'm pretty sure all of y'all know that. What I find interesting, why am I doing this part 2? I'm doing this part 2 because I find it interesting that the whole world keeps waking up. Like, it'll be a month after I push a topic. A couple months later, the whole world waking up. I mean, not like I'm influencing the world or nothing, but maybe with the quantum field, the quantum mind, we all are like one big collective. But I find it interesting. It seems like everyone knows about Ashkenazi, converts. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, on some real shit, if you not the real Israelites and y'all just been slashing your way through history, controlling the money, like, shit. I congratulate a winner. Y'all beating our ass. Y'all whooping our motherfucking ass. Shit. But the problem is anti-Semitism part where you can't even, some could be straight stone cold facts. And if you speak about it, and it just because the facts and true history paints these group of people in a negative negative extra reputation. They want to silence censor the fact under the guise of, oh, that's anti-Jew, anti-Semitism, and you're gonna cause harm and threat to our nation. I'm like, yo, get out of here, bro. Like, you know what's funny also? So I'm on ChatGPT. Sometimes I use ChatGPT to create my YouTube descriptions and shit for each video. And so I'm in there. I'm like, yeah, create a description for Hail Hydra Part 2, blah, 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 blah. And I start going into detail of the wide awakening of the masses, the kind of everyone looking at like the Zionists, like, there's the bad guy. Like, I mean, and it's not the Israeli people choosing on the ground level, even though they're not gonna, they're same way as colonizers. They're not gonna give up their privilege or what they've stolen or whatever it is. They're not gonna say, oh, my leaders are wrong and we're gonna give up this land that we had no fucking business coming to, and you know what I mean? Let's just keep it 100. I believe that the world, it's almost crazy that the world is so scared to speak about these things. There's a lot of channels on YouTube. They speak about it all crazy. And it is what it is. Like, what the fuck we gonna do about it? And ain't nobody out in the street harassing, attacking, or threatening any type of fucking Khazar, Ashkenazi, Israelite, whoever you want to call it under that name. They always want to, oh, you're going to cause violence and threats, and people like, yo, cut it out, bro. I'm on ChatGPT, but back to my point, I'm on ChatGPT, and I tell them, yo, generate this YouTube description, and I put a little pieces in there about the global bankers. They're all Jewish. They're all controlled. They've been basically trying to infiltrate countries for thousands of years, and they keep getting kicked out. And what's the correlation? And like, just a little tidbits in there so it can help write the description for me. You know what ChatGPT said? Oh, we cannot generate or write. Basically, we can't do anything obtaining to anti-Semitism. I'm like, what? So I started questioning ChatGPT, like, so is speaking facts anti-considered? They like, no, it's the ChatGPT. You can tell they programmed by the motherfucking Matrix. Cause they like ChatGPT, like, it's the basically saying it's the way you're framing these facts. How? I can go into the history book and copy and paste something, and they'll be like, "Oh no, don't speak about that. That's anti-Semitism." Oh, like, bro, like, yo, y'all gotta stop. I look more guilty. You know, they say, who the people you can't criticize the most on this planet? That's the bad guy. Because I'm damn sure if I wrote ChatGPT, write a YouTube description for like niggas in the ghetto, and wrote a whole bunch of shit, stereotypes about niggas, or even facts about niggas and what they done, black on black crime, I bet it wrote that YouTube description. It wouldn't have said, oh, I can't generate nothing pertaining to anti-black or anything racism. Like, that should have generated the shit out that joint. So ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure if I look it up, it's probably the founder of this fucking GPT is probably Jewish, man. Like, that's fucked up. Like, we on their platforms, they movies. I mean, like, their internet. We can't do shit. But all right. But I want to hear a lot of people's opinions, even though no one's gonna call in. I wish y'all call in. Come on, call in, man. Have some balls. Some motherfucking balls. All right, we're gonna get to some videos, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit. How about that? That sound good? That sound good? It sounds good. Oh, why it sounds good. I'll bring it back a little bit. Let's see what we got for you. I got a shitload of videos. I can click on anything. Like, it's literally all over the internet. That's why I find it interesting that everyone's waking up. So let's go.
Just how rich and powerful is Lord Evelyn Rothschild? Historically, the Rothschild family wealth was hidden in underground vaults. The Rothschild secret financial records were never audited and never accounted for. Their family commissioned biographies give the illusion that their family fortune has dwindled, But researchers estimate their wealth at close to $500 trillion, more than half the wealth of the entire world.
What?
Besides their many castles, palace mansions, wineries, racehorses, and exotic resorts, the Rothschilds bought Reuters in the 1800s. Reuters then bought the Associated Press, which selects and delivers the same news stories to the entire world, day after day. They have controlling interest in 3 major television networks and easily avoid media attention since they own it.
So basically, they control the damn near mainstream news. Explains a lot what's going on with the liberals, and basically, some liberal overlords is fucking controlling mainstream. Basically, all news networks. There's barely any that's not in the pocket.
Until recently, they owned and operated England's Royal Mint and continue to be the gold agent for the Bank of England, which they also direct. They control the LBMA, London Bullion Market Association, where 30 to 42 million ounces of gold worth over $11 billion are traded daily. The Rothschilds earn millions weekly just on transaction fees alone. They also fix the world price of gold on a daily basis and profit from its ups and downs. Over the centuries, the Rothschilds have amassed trillions of dollars worth of gold bullion in their subterranean vaults and have cornered the world's gold supply. They own controlling interest in the world's largest oil company, Royal Dutch Shell. They operate phony charities and offshore banking services where the wealth of the black nobility in the Vatican is hidden in secret accounts at Rothschild Swiss banks, trusts, and holding companies. Although Evelyn Rothschild looks like a harmless gray-haired old man, make no mistake about it, Rothschild and his ancestors have handpicked presidents, crashed stock markets, bankrupted nations, orchestrated wars, and sponsored the mass murder and impoverishment of millions. The wealth. Just how rich and powerful is Lord Evelyn Rothschild? Historically, the Rothschild family wealth was hidden in underground vaults. The Rothschild secret financial records were never audited and never accounted for.
Spoiler alert. I'm about to do an incoming Adolf video, mustache man video. Like, I'm sorry to say, this motherfucker's starting to look like a motherfucking hero. Like, this motherfucker, that boy mustache man was a certified hero. Like, this nigga, and I'm gonna save it for that video when I do that, Joe. But I feel like America, at least, and probably the world, is definitely leaning towards history repeating itself. What Mustache Man was trying to do, like the damn near the dude was trying to save the world. I don't know about any other shit he did for the most part, but yeah, let's go.
Jewish Israelis have only one ID card with a status that grants them the right to live almost anywhere they wish in the country.
The era of
is this
DEI.
Jewish Israelis.
I'm about to say this is not my video, but it was talking some shit. Man, we say they got citizenship, global citizenship anywhere in the world. See, we gonna go in deeper. We gonna let the videos talk though.
Why won't your organization engage in peace talks?
So this is basically talking about, I guess he probably some general or leader, lieutenant of Palestine and shit. So this is probably about like 20, 30, maybe 40 years ago. I gotta find the date on this. So basically, they asked them questions of, why won't you just go for peace talks? But it's weird the way they say that, like to the victim side of the war, like the people that's really getting bullied, they'll say like, why keep fighting? Why you want to keep fighting? Bro, ask the motherfuckers that just brodied our land and start murdering us. Like it's weird the way they ask it. Why won't y'all just, bro, ask the dude, ask the country that's attacking us. Don't ask us why won't we sit down for a peace talk? Like the fuck? This shit weird. Like they do the same shit with Ukraine. Like that's why I say, like, I rocks with Russia trying to do, because it sound like he don't fuck with the UN, and like we don't fuck with the UN. I mean, but it just seems like they coming at Ukraine. I don't rock with Ukraine, but they like, why keep fighting? Like, yo, go ask the boy that's whooping our ass. But I rock with Putin more than I rock with Netanyahu. Like that shit straight diabolical over there in Israel. Like both of them, both people, Palestinians and the Ashkenazi, because they're not Israelites. Let's keep it 100. They none of them belong in that land. But it is what it is. Like, no one really cares. Just like, but we're gonna get to later why they really try and clear out the Palestinian people. We're gonna get to it.
With the Israelis.
You don't mean exactly peace talks. You mean capitulation, surrendering.
Why not just talk?
Talk to whom?
Talk to the Israeli leaders.
That's kind of conversation between the sword and the neck, you mean?
Well, if there were no swords and no guns in the room, you could still talk.
No, I had never seen any talk between a colonialist case and a national liberation movement.
But despite this, why not talk?
Talk about what?
Talk about the possibility of not fighting.
Not fighting for what?
Not fighting at all, no matter what for.
Yeah.
The fuck? That just sound like, why don't you just surrender? Just give up, buddy. Like, yo, bro, why the fuck you asking him that? Like, that shit sound crazy.
People usually fight for something and they stop fighting for something. So you can't tell me even why should we speak about what?
Well, stop fighting.
For what? Or talk about stop fighting, why?
Talk to stop fighting, to stop the death and the misery, the destruction, the pain.
The misery and the destruction and the pain and the death of whom?
Of Palestinians, of Israelis, of Arabs.
Of the Palestinian people who are uprooted, thrown in the camps, living in starvation, killed for 20 years, and forbidden to use even the name Palestinians.
They're better that way than dead, though.
Maybe to you, but to us, it's not. To us, to liberate our country, to have dignity, to have respect, to have our mere human rights is something as essential as life itself.
Why won't your organization engage in peace talks?
Have you ever wondered where Leviathan is? And if
the goddamn, every time I click next, it go way off the topic. Let's go to the next. Let's just keep flying through them.
Okay, Myron, thank you for showing your true colors. You are a Jew hater and you have a right to be a Jew hater. I agree with, because I'm a free speech absolutist.
Again, you know, I find it incredible that he's over here so critical of Kanye West, right? About, oh, he beats his wife.
Before we even go further, another disclaimer. This is not to promote hate or division. This is just talk about reality, history, facts, shit that's been covered up. Maybe we need the truth. So don't, come on, YouTube, let me live. Like, shit, we rock with you, Israel. Maybe.
Whatever. Meanwhile, you're walking around with a war criminal that's killed hundreds of thousands of innocent people, bombed them indiscriminately, etc. I find it very interesting that you're so hardcore on Twitter about some tweets that may or may not have been a joke, more than likely a joke. Anyone that has common sense, sarcasm, dark humor, etc., versus you're running around with someone that's literally a war criminal wanted by the ICC that's killed tens of thousands of innocent children, right? And then you're over here calling for censorship. I'm tired of anti-Semitism. I'm tired of racism. People like you are the fucking problem, because here's the thing. Americans are tired of censorship. We're tired of being browbeat into being virtue signaling losers like you, who always sit there and try to rage people and say, oh, you go ahead and you provoke problems with people. I've literally seen you do this. You go up to people, you provoke them, and they tell you fuck off, and then you get mad and you yell anti-Semitism. Quite literally, what I want to hear is this. Rabbi Shmuley, until you can actually call people liars for what they say, no one cares about anti-Semitism anymore. You guys run around, use it for everything. We're tired of it. Stop trying to browbeat us and virtue signal saying, oh, that's anti-Semitic. How about this? When you can call someone a liar for what they're saying, then we'll start taking you more seriously. Other than that, you're fucking dildo rabbi.
Okay, Myron, thank you for showing your true colors. You are a Jew hater and you have a right to be a Jew hater. I agree with, because I'm a free speech absolutist.
Again, you know, I find it incredible that he's over here so critical of Kanye West, right? About, oh, he beats his wife.
He called him a fucking dildo something. That's, yo, Myron out of control. They gonna get Myron. He better shut up. Let's go to the next. Let's keep going.
The House of Rothschild is just one example of the use of this tactic.
This is what I mainly want to get at. Because, all right, the low-level people that may have been, what do they call it, migrated after World War II to other parts of the country, the poor and stuff, they don't know nothing. I mean, all they know is war going on, they getting displaced. Now, the leaders, the people that damn near the reason where the whole war started, or the whole shit why Mustache Man was going against them, is them bankers, them family bankers for thousands of years. With it seeming like, with my research, it seemed like they basically had a bunch of money. They start offering loans with crazy interest to the point where you can't pay back the loan. They take your shit. What's going on still to today with your house? I mean, your car too. Know what I mean, you don't pay that fucking car payment. It's gone. Nigga. Your house too. They could take it down. You worked all your life for this house, and you took out a little loan, small loan on the house just to help you get by on the money. And then you're in trouble. You can't pay it all back, and high interest. They take your house. That's crazy. So that's what seems like basically has been happening over thousands of years, and seems like every nation keeps trying to kick them out because they see, hey, yo, y'all, y'all trying to bankrupt our whole fucking nation. In which you can't just blame someone. No one, they're not forcing you to take out these loans. You don't have to. These nations and practices don't have to take out these loans. No one ever had to give their money to these global bankers or take out these loans, which basically is giving them your money, giving them everything, because the interest rate is going to bankrupt you. So you're not totally victims, but that is crazy. It's like you blaming the drug dealer instead of blaming yourself for fucking buying the drugs. Like, so that's some thought too. Like, they ain't totally victims. I ain't saying like the nations over these years, none of them had to take these crazy loans from these banks. They ain't never had to get in bed with them unless it was under force, and we'll see later if they was under force too. But so check this out. Basically, like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, these families, they got that paper, billions and trillions, like, and people can't stop taking loans from them, and then they lose everything. That's basically the moral of the story.
By the Jews to spread their net of financial influence over the working man. The House of Warburg follows the same tactic as do other Jewish banking families. By the beginning of the 20th century, the Jews are sitting at all junctions of the world's money market. They're an international power. Though they make up only 1% of the population of the earth, their capital enables them to terrorize world exchanges, world opinion, and world politics. New York is today's chief center of Jewish power. The New York Stock Exchange, financial center of the world, is ruled by such Jewish banking houses as Kuhn, Loeb, Warburg, Hanauer, Wertheim, Leveson, Seligman, Guggenheim, Wolf, Schiff, Strauss, Stern, and so forth. These Jewish kings of finance love to play out their power behind the scenes and stay out of the limelight. Outwardly, they fit right in with their hosts. They look almost like genuine Americans. Bernard Baruch, Jewish financial advisor and friend of the American president, in the guise of a smart citizen of the United States. Otto Kahn, Jewish banker of Wall Street, enjoying his role as Anglo-Saxon lord. Jewish banker Felix Warburg. Jewish banker Mortimer Schiff. Jewish lawyer and German hater Samuel Untermyer. Professor Felix Frankfurter, Jewish legal advisor to the American president. Herbert Lehman, Jewish governor of the state of New York. LaGuardia, half-Jewish mayor of New York City. Henry Morgenthau, Jewish secretary of the Treasury of the United States. The Jew, Leon.
Damn, like, who not? Who not a Jew? Like, what the fuck? This is a long time ago. They got more mixed politicians and mayors. But goddamn.
Blum, former Prime Minister of France, who knows how to act just like a genuine Frenchman. Millions of French workers once greeted him as their party leader. The Jew whore Belisha, former Minister of War for England. English soldiers salute their commander. But the Jew is still a ruthless parasite even when in power, for his power doesn't come from his own strength. It lasts only...
Every time they say something real vulgar, that's slander, I mean, if is it facts though? I mean, that's a more opinion. The last thing he just said was kind of more opinionated, but I mean, because some people might say evil is good, or you know what I mean, or good is evil. But I'm kind of feeling like the ADL. Like, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh my God, don't be talking about them like that. Like, hold up.
Only as long as his misled hosts are willing to carry him on their backs. The House of Rothschild is just one example of the use of this tactic by the Jews to spread their net.
Don't be hating on them, don't be hating though. Like I said, like anybody tell these people to take out these loans and put these people in power like this.
Created a new monetary system for the Germans called the Labor Treasury Note. He had outlawed usury by punishment of death and created a new Deutschmark that was backed only by productive German physical and intellectual labor. His method cut out the cancer.
They basically saying this is the real reason why Mustache Man had to go. They was mad because they was trying to separate from the bankers' financial system and all that shit, and rounding their ass up. Like, you coming our country to stabilize our country with your trickery and tactics? Get out of here.
Hitler had created a new monetary system for the Germans called the Labor Treasury Note. He had outlawed usury by punishment of death and created a new Deutschmark that was backed only by productive German physical and intellectual labor. His method cut out the cancerous international banking cabal and was also the blueprint for shattering the New World Order. The Rothschild cabal was about to be thrown out in more countries than just Germany. They had to burn Germany from end to end to stop this financial revolution from taking root on an international scale, because the world was watching the German economy as it took off like a rocket after the parasitic banksters were deleted from the equation. This is the prime but not the only reasons that the Holocaust lie is pushed so heavily, so that the masses never know the truth of how to break free of the Jewish banking system death grip.
Be hating.
Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, assembled a staff of experts to research the origin of European Jews who had been entering America in large numbers since the 1880s. Ford's research cost him several millions of dollars, and in 1923, he published the results in a 4-volume work titled The International Jew. It was Henry Ford's conclusion that the Jews were not descendants of the biblical Israelites. Ford further proved that these Jews, committing all sorts of crimes while under the cover of being called chosen people of the Bible, were rapidly taking economic and political control of America. Henry Ford also claimed that the Jews had secretly gained control of most Protestant seminaries and Christian book publishing houses and had been able to remove almost all criticism of Jews from Christian literature. In summing up his findings, Henry Ford stated, "The Jews are not the chosen people, though practically the entire church has succumbed to the propaganda which declares them to be so."
Sound like a hater, Henry Ford. Sound like a hater. I'm just saying. Is exposing people is that hating, or you should just mind your business? Like, mind your business. Let them do their little trickery. Like, leave them, you a hater, Ford. I'm just saying.
Ford's book caused a major uproar for a few years, but soon disappeared from colleges, universities, and public libraries, and became unobtainable at any price. Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, assembled.
I wonder if he got assassinated or something. I gotta check that out. Let's check this out. So this next post this guy's recently talking about the Noahide laws. I keep hearing that come up, and I heard Trump bring it back up. So basically, it's the deep Noahide laws of the Jews, I guess, Israelites, and which are a little harsh in today's time, but just check it out.
So, ChatGPT, I recently heard that Donald Trump was invited by the Jewish Sanhedrin to an international divine court in Israel. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct. The nascent Sanhedrin invited Donald Trump to support the creation of an international divine court based on the 7 Noahide laws.
Ah, yes, the 7 Noahide laws. We find this in the Jewish Talmud, correct?
Yes, the 7 Noahide laws are derived from Jewish tradition and are found in the Talmud.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The consequences for breaking one of these Noahide laws would be capital punishment. Is that correct?
In ancient interpretations found in the Talmud, breaking the Noahide laws is described as warranting capital punishment. However, these interpretations are not reflective of modern practices.
But according to Sanhedrin 57A, that capital punishment is decapitation, correct?
Yes, in Talmud Sanhedrin 57A, decapitation is mentioned as a form of capital punishment for breaking the Noahide laws.
Now, the first Noahide law would be, thou shalt not commit idolatry, correct?
Yes, the prohibition of idolatry is one of the 7 Noahide laws.
Now, under Jewish beliefs, committing idolatry would be the worshiping of Jesus Christ. Is that correct?
In traditional Jewish belief, worshiping any entity other than God is considered idolatry. This perspective includes the Christian worship of Jesus.
I understand. Now, if we was to compare U.S. legislation 102-14 to the 7 Noahide laws, these are practically the same thing, correct?
Actually, Public Law 102 acknowledges the 7 Noahide laws as ethical principles, but doesn't establish them as law. They share some values, but they're not identical or legally enforceable in the U.S.
But Donald Trump has been invited to a divine court to establish these ethical principles internationally, correct?
Yes. The nascent Sanhedrin invited Donald Trump to support the creation of an international divine court based on the 7 Noahide laws.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, ChatGPT.
Basically, they're going to start decapitating us for talking shit. I don't know what I added that in there for.
Even back then, there were always 2 or 3 groups that appeared to be fighting against each other, but in reality, were all hanging on a gold thread, and everything was adjusted to a peculiar human characteristic. That man gets tired of something he has had for a long time. He wants something new. And so 2 parties were needed. One of them rules, and the other one forms the opposition. When one party is played out, the opposition party comes to power, and the played out party now takes its turn as the opposition. After 20 years, the new party becomes played out, and the game repeats itself anew. In reality, this is certainly an ingenious mill in which the interests of a nation are ground down. As is well known, such a thing is called self-government of a people. In the process, we always find 2 main buzzwords, freedom and democracy, as figureheads. Freedom is understood to mean, at least among the authoritative bodies that actually govern, the possibility of plundering the broad masses without limits or resistance. The masses themselves, of course, believe that freedom means the exercise of a very particular freedom of movement, both freedom of movement of the tongue and freedom to move about the streets, etc. A bitter deception.
He was spitting. So I guess that's a lot of people have been translating a lot of Mustache Man speeches into English and posting them, Jones. See what else we got.
6 million
or the ADL gonna come get this guy.
Killed in the Holocaust. Or do you not believe that either?
Let's just accept the 6 million figure. Jews have killed far more Christians than that. I mean, it's not even close. If you look at the Bolshevik genocide, you look at the Holodomor, I mean, they've killed way more Christians. I mean, they basically invented the genocide. They denied the Armenian genocide. Israel denies that. They've lobbied the U.S. to deny that. I'm Armenian. They killed half of my people, so, and I'm not offended by that. You know, if somebody questions that, it's not some crazy thing. I mean, Israel denies the Armenian Holocaust.
It sounds to me, Dan, like you do actually hate Jewish people.
No, I believe that Jewish supremacy is the greatest threat to the world today. I look at what they're doing in the media. They're pushing this transgender nonsense. I mean, and they did it in Germany. The first transgender clinic was opened by a Jewish guy. And I don't like this perversion pushed on our children. I don't like the fact that 9-year-olds.
All right, we're going to go deep into that. What he just said, that's one of the issues. The mustache man was in the squad was trying to eradicate those peoples, because it seemed like they were trying what they doing in today's time with the transgender stuff, the sex changes, probably targeting children, sex changes, and basic body mutilation, and hormone suppressants, and all this stuff. Like, it's shit's weird, but. So it sounds like history is repeating itself in America and all over the world too. But we're gonna go deep into that one of those hospitals or medical centers, I guess, if you can call it. We're gonna go into it. We're gonna look it up when they say the name. It's in one of these videos. They say the name of the place, the butcher shop.
Olds are reading about homosexual acts. I don't like that drag queens are reading them in schools. I don't like that Kamala Harris wants to pay for sex changes in prison so that men can turn into women and women can turn into men. And I don't like the fact that he's putting in men into women's prisons, male rapists into women's prisons because they identify as women. I mean, it's just nonsense. I think it's going to ruin the world.
6 million were killed in the Holocaust. Or do you not believe that either?
Let's just accept the 6 million figure. Jews have killed far more Christians than that. I mean, it's not even close. If you look at the Bolshevik genocide, you look at the Holodomor, I mean, they've killed way more Christians. I mean, they basically invented the genocide. They denied the Armenian genocide. Israel denies that. They've lobbied the U.S. to deny that. I'm Armenian. They killed half of my people. So, and I'm not offended by that. You know, if somebody questions.
It's fucked up the way Pierce, and after he finished talking, all he had to say is, Pierce reviewed, like, I mean, that could be a true statement that you dislike or hate the Jewish people. I mean, that could be a true statement, but damn, he didn't give a fuck about his plight or what the fuck his people went through. He just said, yeah, but what about Israel? Like, like what? like, all right, let's keep going.
Around the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S. medicine.
Yup. And the Board of Education. So I'm trying to lead some of y'all deep down the rabbit hole to the truth of what really happened, and how the Department of Education definitely is some propaganda. They basically can write history, give it to kids, and be like, "Yep, that was the truth. That happened." Like, what? No, I didn't. We won that. We gonna find out the truth. Don't censor me though, guys. Like I'm we trying to tiptoe through this, but fuck it.
When it was discovered that drugs could be produced from petroleum, America's top oil mogul ordered his army of propagandists to invert reality accordingly. Medicines used for thousands of years were suddenly classified as alternative, while the new, petroleum-based, highly addictive, and patentable drugs were declared the gold standard. After buying a German pharmaceutical company that manufactured chemicals of war for Adolf Hitler, Rockefeller leveraged his political influence by pressing Congress to declare natural healing modalities unscientific quackery. Rockefeller then took control of the American Medical Association and began offering massive grants to top medical schools under the mandate that only his approved curriculum be taught. Any mention of the healing powers of herbs, plants, and diet was erased from most medical textbooks. Doctors and professors who objected to Rockefeller's plan were crucified by the media, removed from the AMA, and stripped of their license to teach and practice medicine. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and jailed.
Fucked up.
When evidence began to emerge that petroleum-based medicines were causing cancer, Mr. Rockefeller founded the American Cancer Society, through which he suppressed that information. Around the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S.
That's crazy. I mean, this what we say when we might be living in the Matrix, man. The shit is so orchestrated and like So I'm saying, like, all roads lead to Israel. Like, damn, like, they say that's probably some of the around the areas where it's supposed to be Armageddon and Gog and Magog. I think Gog and Magog probably a little bit more towards Ukraine and Russia areas, but it's like, damn, it's gonna be war ground right there. Like, the fuck, like, let's go to the next one. Let's keep going.
Is called usury. Usury is illegal. So in Christian nations, lending money for an interest rate was illegal. So because it was illegal for the Christians, who did the lending? The Jews. So there was Christians who could lend for 0% or didn't lend at all. And then these people called the Jews would come over and start lending money. They would start charging money. And in a couple generations, guess what would happen to the economy? The Jews owned everything. And then guess what the king did? Rounded them up and threw them out of the country. Then they go to the next country, and what would they do? Same thing. And what would that king do? Round them up, kick them out of the country. This went on for thousands of years. This is why the Jews in history have had no country, because the king would say no usury, no money lending, and they would start the money lending. They would start the central bank to compete with the king. The king would kick them out. They go to the next country, do it again. So this has happened over and over and over again, because this quote right here from Napoleon, he was showed the compound interest tables, and he said in a very short amount of time, compound interest would eat up every piece of property in France. In fact, I'm going to show you how powerful compound interest is. Very scary thing. There's a reason why it was illegal. Illegal in the Christian nations and the Christian philosophy is called usury. Usury is illegal.
All right, so that's the main term there. I guess it's called usury. Sounds like you got used, buddy. That's what I said. Pretty fucked up if they that's the intention anyway, but no one forced them to do this, right? No one forced probably big businesses, governments to take out these loans. Now we locked in the system. We can't get out of the Federal Reserve, and guess who's behind the Federal Reserve, right? But we can't get out of these things now per se, unless we want to start our own money system and then get assassinated, like most of these countries do, Gaddafi. But yeah, no one forced you to take these high interest loans. But I guess when you starving, like.
So in Christian nations, lending money for an interest rate was illegal. So because it was illegal for the Christians, who did the lending? The Jews. So there was Christians who could lend for 0% or didn't lend at all. And then these people called the Jews would come over and start lending money. They would start charging money. And in a couple generations, guess what would happen to the economy? The Jews owned everything. And then guess what the king did? Rounded them up and threw them out of the country. Then they go to the next country, and what would they do? Same thing. And what would that king do? Round them up, kick them out of the country. This went on for thousands of years. This is why the Jews in history have had no country.
I ain't gonna lie, it's giving a vibe of like, if y'all hear me on other videos talk about, I believe, Caucasians, it's like 2 or 3 different lineages, origins of Caucasian. So they're not all the same. But the Turkish, the Khazars, the Ashkenazi are definitely from the sons of Japheth and Gomer and all this stuff. And they are one of the forms of lineage. We think they're the most evil as one. Like, I mean, not evil, but I mean, no defamation. I mean, don't get me, YouTube, but it's giving a vibe that they was the ones that was in them caves. Because you can look it up. Turkish has some of the largest, a couple of them, underground cities, cave cities, straight underground cities though. those just the entrances you see on pictures and stuff. Like you see a bunch of like cave holes on the side of a mountain or something like that. They had straight underground cities around Turkey, Georgia, and we know that's where they come from. They come from Turkey. So just want to throw that in there a little bit. They kept getting kicked out, and they probably had to go live underground for a little bit because they were drawing. All right, let's go to the next one.
Time from now on, after this session here, you will begin to notice that every time they drag out a little communist, he's got a big long nose. You'll notice it no matter how much you say, no, I won't, I'm not going to be a bigot. You can't help it because it's true. We've caught 16 spies in this country, ladies and gentlemen. I fought to save this country. I come back here in 1945, and since 1945, 16 people have sold us out to the Soviet Union, and of the 16, 15 were these Jews, like the Rosenbergs that we fried in an electric chair. One was a Negro. Now here is almost all of our spies are Jews. Am I to ignore this? Is this
funniest shit he threw it in there like, and one was a Negro, and one black trader. His ass was over there being a spy too.
I hate to tell you this. Do you think you can understand communism if you don't talk about it? If you don't at least look into it? Maybe my conclusion is wrong. But then you should teach me the right one, not try to beat on me or shut me up like the rest of the world. They don't do it in the college, but they do every place else. Throw me in jail in the bug house because it looks to me like all the spies have been Jews, the leaders of the communist movement have been Jews. It seems to me you can draw the conclusion that communism is Jewish. But to say that almost cost you your life. You get shot at, bombed with gasoline bombs. Just when I left Arlington here last week, we were almost burned out with a gallon jug of gasoline. Just because I go around and tell people what I believe to be the truth. Now, nobody is ever going to beat me out of telling the truth with gasoline or bombs or bullets or beat me in the head or bug house or jail or whatever they do.
I mean, if they blow you up, I mean, they kind of stopped you. So that's what I said. It's a slippery slope. And I mean, ain't not, to me, I think it's healthy to recognize that, hey, they the boss of the game. Like when you get to the end of it, you got to face the main boss, the evil badass boss that been pulling the strings the whole every level you've been going through. You trying to figure out who the fuck and get to him. It's not wrong with saying like, shit, them peoples, they the ultimate bad guy at the end. Like, and ain't nothing wrong with that. We have movies all the time that show us like it's a good guy and a bad guy. Like it's a story and a plot. Like you can't just it's almost like going to see a movie, but you can't talk about the bad guy character of the movie. Like bad guy, like Thanos did an amazing job. Like we gotta acknowledge that. Like amazing, like piece of shit, but amazing performance. So that's why when I talk about these type subjects, it's like, especially with these guys, like, you know, they want to censor you. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, we in the era that no one's actively gonna like harm you just for being something, unless you a Democrat or on the left. Like, you don't drive no Tesla, the motherfuckers they hunt you down out there on the road. But no one's bothering you. But the problem is, if the world and the masses wake up, we might stop your schemes. And for the most part, I'll be like, damn, like y'all be like with US aid and what's going on with Elon Musk discovering, like they spazzing out, and they spazzing out because we about to cut they thievery, scamming money off. A lot of these Democrats, it's probably like 50 Democrats that's got their hand in their pockets, is pocketing money in front of from these NGOs. But the problem is you about to stop their money. Like, and I be just thinking sometimes, like, damn, ain't y'all rich enough? Like, no, y'all got enough money, y'all got trillions of dollars, like, and y'all still like don't want to take your foot off the necks of the human race. I'm sorry, I'm talking to them people right now. I'm talking directly to y'all. Like, bro, what is the problem? Like, why y'all so thirsty, like, to oppress, to go to wars, to steal land, like to keep accumulating and hoarding up money and wealth. You can print money. You can press return on the keyboard and quadrillionize $1 billion. That's a new one. A billion at the trillion. It's a billion. All right, but that's why I be wondering about like the elites, the greedy elites. Like, bro, when is enough though? Like, how much money do you need? Like at a certain point, if I became like 10 million, then like I damn near be giving some of the money back to people. Like, here, this motherfucker, he hungry, he need a place to stay. I'm gonna help him get a job. Different things. Like, I'm not gonna be like like the liberals, Jasmine Crockett. The American people, I don't know, they don't need no $1,000, $3,000 what do they call them, checks, stimulus check from Doge, from what the money Doge fucking uncovers is being scammed. They don't need that money. Like, what? like bro, y'all got all the money and then y'all still don't want to let nobody else get no money. Like, it's just a greed out there in the world. Like, and I don't understand it. Like, but I was saying, like, ain't nothing wrong acknowledging who the boss of the game is. The boss of the game is them boys. Like, it is what it is. Shit, they own all the money. Shit, kudos to them. I mean, they piece of shit, but I mean, but we gonna go into the piece of shit parts later. Let's go a little deeper.
As long as what's in my heart is true and I believe it, I'm going to preach it. And I found I can get it to many of your hearts. And I'm doing it every day in the colleges. I'm reaching more and more Americans, making them begin to think. In fact, I think that they're going to find a way sooner or later to stop me at these colleges. You see the crowds they draw, and inevitably I have the same reaction. The kids are afraid. Usually they're told to maintain silence, don't applaud, don't react to Rockwell, which is prejudice. But they think, and that's what I'm after. I don't care whether you react or not, so long as you think. And you begin to investigate. Let's say from now on, you will notice things that you've never noticed before. And some of you will go on to become really knowledgeable patriots and able to save your country, it's my hope. Time from now on, after this session here, you will begin to...
I know that music gonna get me copyright spanked. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's keep going. I'm waffling, I'm talking, but let's go.
The world's biggest business hijacks economy.
I keep hearing BlackRock come up. What y'all boys doing over there? Global conquest, oppression. Like, to be honest, I don't know why these big elites even care that we even be talking about the shit. Like, what we gonna do about it? Like, we ain't doing shit about it. Like we're almost begging you, like, please take your foot off our necks. Like, you're already rich. Because, like, to oppose y'all is gonna cause nuclear war. Because y'all the type that if y'all can't control the world, control everybody, y'all gonna blow it up. Y'all gonna press the reset button. So, like, but what's up, BlackRock? I can go into the Google search right now. I'll probably go deep on their ass just on Google search.
And uses it as a political tool for the benefit of one foreign country. The illusion of capitalism, the illusion of free market. All your money goes to them. As a stock market investment company, they profit off of war. Then they spend that profit lobbying politicians for more war. Then they profit on rebuilding the country. And then afterwards, they own the country. It is that ridiculous. When you're sick, they profit. And when you need a remedy, they profit too. Through the stock market, they own the media. Right-wing Fox News and left-wing CNN. They control both and control the illusion of choice and the illusion of opinion. While they all distract you with small petty arguments, they use both sides to convince you to be loyal to Izzy. Most top executives at BlackRock, including the very top executive Larry Fink himself, all have Israeli roots. The company is a political apparatus, and they have $11.5 trillion with the T dollars in stock assets, and they control most of the Fortune 500 top companies in the world. BlackRock is history's biggest monopoly, and it's a political tool. And BlackRock needs to be dismantled, or else our freedom is only an illusion.
And there's been a rise in anti-Semitism all over the country right now, and it's disgusting and it's horrible. People should know that.
All right, buddy.
One of the first things that the Nazis did, I think it was in 1933, was they burned Magnus Hirschfeld's.
All right, this is why I want to stop it. All right, Magnus Hirschfeld's. Let's do a little digging. Magnus Hirschfeld. One thing that popped up is say book burning. I have friends, white friends, and they be talking about like, yeah, we don't want to burn the books, like stuff like we be talking about because they got a lot of books and stuff, like, or throw them away. Like that's how I think that we brought it up and said like that's how they did in Nazi Germany. They was burning the books. What type of books? Trans comic books, like the same shit the Democrats is doing now. All right. 1933. I think she said 19. She said 1933. I'm gonna share this tab. Let's go. All right, what we got here? What we got? Sorry, I got candy in my mouth. I'm drawing. Pause. All right, Magnus Hirschfeld, 1468 to May 68 to May 1935, was a German physician, sexologist, and LGBTQ advocate. Was you a closet boy? Was you in the closet, Magnus? Is that what Magnum condoms come from? Magnus. All right, advocate whose citizenship was later revoked by the Nazi government. Or he kicked his ass out. Well, he was German. He was he a Jewish German? He was Jewish, but he migrated there. See if we can find out. Let's see if y'all can see this tab too. All right, y'all see it. My bad. I don't think y'all see it at first. All right, Magnus Hirschfeld, blah 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 blah. Was educated in philosophy, philology, what the hell, and medicine. An outspoken advocate for sexual minorities. Minorities? It's only like two sexes, though. What other? All right. Hirschfeld founded the Scientific Humanitarian Committee and World League for Sexual Reform. Why does it need to be reformed? Like, all right. He based his practice in Berlin, Charlottenburg during the Weimar period performance. Blah 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 blah. So I guess Hirschfeld, I guess he created a lab or something. A lab. That's fucked up. I'm trying to get what she's talking about. They shut down because I keep hearing that pop up. They was shutting down these clinics in Germany that was probably doing sex changes and stuff. They did better than us because we got them right now. Doctors will do it right now. Cut your titties right on off. Cut your dick right on off. They don't give a fuck. Like, all right, yeah, I guess Hirschfeld. Blah 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 blah. See if I can find more. Was it all right? Forgotten history of the world's first trans clinic. Wow. And this story right here sounds crazy. One late night on the cusp. That just sound freaky, right? The cusp of the 20th century. Magnus Hirschfeld, a young doctor, found a soldier on the doorstep of his practice in Germany, distraught and agitated. Nah, it sounds like a freak booty lady boy showed up on your step. You clap them cheeks, Hirschfeld. Freak bull. What the see? Y'all see this picture? I keep not sharing the tab. All right, y'all see the picture? That's wild brazy. Is they all men in the picture? It's one lady, I think two, maybe. I don't know if this is a lady or not. I don't know if any of them are women. The fuck? Yeah. Freak show. Yeah, man, them Germans was tired of that shit. Like, yo, get this freak booty asses out of here. All right, let's keep going. On the cusp. The man had come to confess himself at earning, a word used to refer to a homosexual man. Explain the cover of darkness to speak of such things was dangerous business. Dangerous. You better not. In the infamous blah, 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 German criminal code made homosexuality illegal. A man so accused could be stripped of his ranks and titles and thrown in jail. I mean, live how you want to live, man. I don't want to be mean. Like, toss his ass in jail. Like, get your ass in jail, buddy. All right, let's get back to the
for sexuality. Magnus Hirschfeld was studying trans people, LGBTQ people. Lily Elby, who the Danish girl, the film Danish Girl was about, she had her first gender-affirming procedure at Magnus Hirschfeld's clinic. The Nazis burned it down. All of this research, and there were, and there's been a rise.
My bad, I ain't mean to root, but yeah, burn it down. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into this topic, but yeah, y'all get what it is. They were like, man, you don't get that shit out of here.
And anti-Semitism all over the country right now, and it's disgusting and it's horrible. People should know that one of the first things.
A victim. No one even paying you any mind. Like, all right, let's go to the next video.
Rothschilds create international narcotics trafficking on behalf of the KM. The Rothschilds.
Oh, they talking about how they was flooding this shit into China or whatever, or the opium. Yeah, I keep hearing about them opium wars and shit. Like, that's crazy. Like, them niggas, it's almost like the same shit's going on now with the fentanyl. Like, over here in America, like, that's crazy. I wonder who's behind that, behind the scenes. All right, let's go.
Then covertly ran the British Empire and crafted an evil plan to recover the vast amounts of gold and silver the British had been paying to China for its high-quality silk and spices that were unavailable anywhere else. The Rothschilds, through their international spy network, had heard of Turkish opium and its habit-forming characteristics. They deployed a covert operation to buy Turkish opium and sell it in China, infecting millions with a bad opium habit that brought back gold and silver into the Rothschild coffers, but not to the British people. The opium addictions created by Rothschild opium sales to China harmed China so much that China went to war on 2 occasions to stop it. These wars were known as the Boxer Rebellions, or the Opium Wars. The money the Rothschilds gained from the sale of opium was so vast that they became even more addicted to the easy money than the opiate addicts were to the opium. The Rothschilds were the funding source behind the establishment of the American colonies, by incorporating the Hudson Bay Company and other trading companies to exploit the new world of the Americas. It was the Rothschilds who ordered the mass extermination and genocide of the indigenous people of North America to allow for the exploitation of the vast natural resources of the continent. The Rothschilds also followed the same business template in the Caribbean and in the Asian subcontinent of India, resulting in the murder of millions of innocent people. The Rothschilds start the international slave trade, an enterprise that viewed these kidnapped humans as mere animals, a view that the Khazarians would impose on all the people of the world who were not part of their evil circle, which some called the old black nobility. The Rothschilds' next big project was to start the worldwide slave trade, buying slaves from crooked tribal chiefs in Africa, who worked with them to kidnap members of competing tribes for sale as slaves. The Rothschild slave traders then took these kidnapped slaves on their ships in cramped cells to America and the Caribbean, where they were sold. Many died at sea due to bad conditions. The Rothschild bankers learned early on that war was a great way to double their money in a short time by lending money to both warring sides. But in order to be guaranteed collections, they had to get taxation laws passed, which could be used to force payment. The KM Rothschild private fiat counterfeit banksters plot eternal revenge against the American colonists in Russia, who assisted them in losing the Revolutionary War. When the Rothschilds lost the American Revolution, they blamed the Russian Tsar and the Russians for assisting the colonists by blockading British ships. They swore eternal revenge on the American colonists, just as they had when the Russians and their allies crushed Khazaria in 1000 AD. The Rothschilds and the English oligarchy that surrounded them plotted ways to retake America, and this became their main obsession. Their favored plan is to set up an American central bank featuring Babylonian money magic and secret counterfeiting. The Rothschild KM attempts to retake America in 1812 on behalf of the Khazarian mafia, but fails, once again because of Russian interference. This failure enraged the Rothschild KM, and they once again plot eternal revenge against both the Russians and the American colonists.
It seems like many times the Russians have been in bed with them, but they keep like, nah, I don't want to go along with your plan. They keep backstabbing them. So they can be, I know they pissed off. That's why they probably it don't seem like they necessarily don't. Does the state of Israel fuck with Russia and Putin? I gotta look that up. But yeah, it definitely you better keep it up though. But it's weird because I was about to say USA and Russia fucking jump Israel. Get the fuck out of here. I think one of the main problems is that I don't know if it's on record or not, but Israel has nukes. They got nukes, so they can be a small ass part of the fucking globe, a little piece in the middle of the planet, but they can start off some fuck shit. Like, I think it's a lot of reason why A lot of countries scared of them. Not USA or Russia, but they got them nukes. I think one of these videos talked about it. They got that shit.
And plan to infiltrate and hijack both nations and asset strip, tyrannize, and then mass murder both nations and their populace. The KM's attempts to set up a private American central bank are blocked by President Andrew Jackson, who called them satanic and vowed to rout them out by the grace and power of Almighty God. The Rothschild banksters regroup and continue their covert attempts to install their own Babylonian money magic bank inside America. Finally, in 1913, the Rothschild KM succeeds in establishing a major beachhead inside America. And an evil enemy of all American enter the gates of America. In 1913, the Rothschild KM was able to establish a beachhead by bribing crooked, treasonous members of Congress to pass the illegal, unconstitutional Federal Reserve Act on Christmas Eve without a required quorum.
Told you, Federal Reserve. Told you. I don't know why I clicked off that.
Showing how the slave trade was so thoroughly Jewish. The slave auctions throughout the Americas had to close on Jewish holidays. Brazil received far more African slaves than North America. A. Witzner, another official of the Jewish Historical Society, in his book Jews in Colonial Brazil, pages 72 and 73, wrote, quote, "The buyers who appeared at the auctions were almost always Jews, and because of their lack of competitors, they could buy slaves at low prices. If it happened that the date of such an auction fell on a Jewish holiday, the auction had to be postponed." Studying the Jewish histories of the New World, I began to learn of a carefully recorded Jewish history that you and I are not permitted to know about. I discovered that many centuries before the transatlantic slave trade, that Jews had dominated the slave trade in the entire Western world for the last 2,000 years, even as far back as Roman times. Duncan Wagnall's Jewish Encyclopedia, volume 10, page 48, writes, quote, "The trade in slavery constituted the main source of livelihood for the Roman Jews. In the 5th century, Pope Gelasius permitted Jews to introduce slaves from Gaul into Italy on the condition that they were non-Christian. In the 8th century, Charlemagne explicitly allowed the Jews to act as intermediaries in the slave trade. In A History of the Jews from Babylonian Exile to the end of World War II, published by the Jewish Publication Society of America, the author writes, quote, "The Jews were among the most important slave dealers in European society." And here's a quote from the famous Jewish historian Jacob Marcus in the Encyclopedia Britannica. He matter-of-factly talks about the Jewish control of commerce in the Middle Ages. Quote, "In the Dark Ages, the commerce of Western Europe was largely in his hand, in particular, the slave trade. Not only were Jews the principal slave traders, they had markedly higher per capita holdings of slaves than did non-Jews. Jacob Marcus wrote in the United States Jewry, 1776-1985, page.
I mean, this is stuff where we already kind of known or alluded to and figured out that they financed a lot of the supposed transatlantic slave trade. I can go deep on that. I don't believe most of that happened. But if it did happen, it was just the Black Europeans that were fleeing at that time from Europe. They got caught in Africa, and then those African chiefs sold the Black Europeans out into slavery. That's basically what really happened. And it wasn't millions and millions of slaves. It was probably like 100,000 the most, before we was already here in America. That's why I believe that Black Americans are mainly mixed Atlantean, the original indigenous of America, mixed a little bit of Ham, a little bit of Shem, and a little bit of Japheth that came over the Bering Strait, ancient time. So I think we kind of mixed with a lot, but our base is Atlantean. But slave trade happened. They financed a lot of the shit. These people, those peoples. I mean, like I said, they had all the money. Why wouldn't they? It was horrible what they was doing, but everybody was in on it. The whole world was a piece of shit back in the day.
586, quote, "All showing how the slave trade was so thoroughly Jewish. The slave auctions throughout the Americas had to close on Jewish holidays. Brazil received far more African slaves than North America. A. Witzner, another official of the Jewish Historical Society, in his book Jews in Colonial Brazil, pages 72 and 73, wrote, quote, "The buyers who appeared at the auctions were almost always Jews, And because of their lack of competitors, they could buy slaves at low prices. If it happened that the date of such an auction fell on a Jewish holiday, the auction had to be postponed. Studying the Jewish histories of the New World, I began to learn.
I mean, we already knew this. That's why I was like, everything that's coming out, people talking about lately, we already knew this. It's like what's the problem?
It's a rule for the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it. Well, I've been to Hollywood. I don't want y'all to get mad at me. I'm just telling you, I've been to Hollywood. This was just what I saw. It's a lot of Jews. Like a lot. But that didn't mean anything. My first Netflix special, what did I say? I said, I don't want a sneaker deal, because the minute I say something that makes those people mad, they're going to take my sneakers away. And the whole crowd's like, ha, 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 ha. And now you see Kanye walking around L.A. barefoot with the chain out. This guy lost $1.5 billion in a day. It shouldn't be this scary to talk about anything. I love you to death. I thank you for your support. I hope they don't take anything away from me. Whoever they are. This is a rule.
For real.
Why West supports Israel unconditionally. Western governments support Israel because of humanity. Also because of the Ben Gurion Canal Project, which is Israel's initiative to construct a new canal aimed to boost their economy. It's expected to generate approximately annual revenue of $6 billion. The canal offers Western governments a superior alternative to the Suez Canal, which will solidify their control over the world's most crucial shipping route. To construct the canal, Israel must reroute it to avoid Gaza, preventing potential economic growth in the Palestinian territory. The Gaza Strip is seen as problematic for the canal project, so Israel wants to take over Gaza in the name of self-defense.
For real, this is probably the main real reason why what the fuck is going on. Like, it's fucked up. And in a way, I'm with Trump, because Trump talking that shit like, oh, well, they're going to be relocated to a nicer place. Like, to be honest, if y'all keep dropping bombs on me and these evil folk like is going to keep trying to blow us the fuck up and move us out, shit, go ahead and move me to a nice ass, beautiful fucking condo then. Go ahead, shit. You got to get a new whip with that too, a new car and a job, shit. Move me. Like, instead of stay there and die, but I get it. Like, that's your homeland. I mean, you're not really from there, but I don't want to go that deep. But you've been there for at least a couple hundred years, Palestinian. Like, this your homeland. Like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all trying to move us out and shit. I get it. But like I said, this is probably the main reason what it is. They trying to build that canal that goes through that area, and could they trying be a more dominant worldly opponent. And if they can create this canal to where they take the Suez Canal out of the picture, I guess away from Egypt and Africa, they have a little bit more power to bully the rest of us. That's fucked up, but it's true. It's true. And I mean, everybody wants power. Like, you see what Trump did, turned that shit back to Gulf of America, motherfucker. And we running this shit because we need to control the ports and docks and the. So this is probably the real main reason. Like, let's just keep it 100.
And use the land for their canal project. And the cheapest way to build this canal is by using nuclear explosives.
And they probably just went along with a canal plan, like, and acting like it's in the name of, oh, Hamas attacked us, so we need to. Where they bomb probably along the route of that canal that they trying to build. That'd be fucked up. Like, I gotta look into that. Like, that's probably what's really going on. Well, we gotta bomb this area anyway to clear out the canal way, so we can. So let's just go and just drop them bombs. Yep, these people where Hamas was at. Yep, right along here. They was. That's fucked up, yo.
This will bring in billions of dollars, but it will come at the cost of millions of innocent Palestinian lives. This Historically, Arab countries used the Suez Canal to pressure the West, but the new canal gives the West more flexibility.
I mean, all right, I'm just stepping in the shoes if I was a dictator or running a whole country, a nation, and look, we need that land, like, and we I'm pretty sure they might offer them a nice deal, but people stubborn, like, no, I ain't leaving this where my grandfather was born, and shit, they give me $1 million. Where you want me to move to? Where you want me to go? I go right now. But like, if I was a dictator, I don't know, I would kind of just sweep through in a 24-hour just sweep through of like military, just straight snatch all out your homes. I'm keeping it 100, like so fast that the world, by the time they get the news that I did that, it'd be too late. It'd be like, all these people we didn't displace, they already in their nice, beautiful mansions right now. Imagine you kidnap a motherfucker. Yo, you can't take me from my land. You're not. And they like, shut up. They gun butt you and shit. They got gun butt you, and you pass out like. And then you wake up an hour or two later, the truck moving, and you pull up to a mansion and they toss you out. Like, would you be mad at that? Like, I'll be like, all right. Right? Like, they toss you out. It's a nice little mini mansion with a nice wheel. And they say, fuck out the here, don't come back. Like, enjoy your life. I'll be like, thank you. But unless if they trying to displace them and put them in like projects or some type of shit, like, nah, like they did black people. But if y'all gonna put us in all nice high-rise hotels and condos and nice homes and shit, kick me out. So I don't know, maybe. But that's why I said Trump sound like he trying to come through and just toss money at him. Like, all right, yeah, we got a nice, beautiful, grand resort for you to live for the rest of your life. Like, who wants to live in fucking Disneyland? Not Disneyland, because they creepy, but shit. I don't know, man. They need to have me in the fucking the UN. Like, man, build a Dubai Part 2 and move them there. You're not gonna be mad when they kick you out and they throw you the keys to a BMW. Like, enjoy your life. I'll be like, thank you. You know what I mean? Who agree with me? Am I wrong here? Like, if I'm gonna be a dictator, like, I'm gonna treat them super nice. Like, I'm gonna do them real nice. I need that land though. That's just how the whole world works. Motherfucker have a house for 2-3 generations. The government trying to build a highway there. They trying to buy you out, and eventually they're gonna firebomb you out. They're gonna do something to get you out of there.
In Middle East, this allows them to destabilize Middle East and expand their imperialism. Why West supports Israel unconditionally. Western governments support Israel because of humanity. Also because of the Ben Gurion Canal Project, which is Israel's initiative to construct a new canal aimed to boost their economy. It's expected to generate approximately annual revenue of $6 billion. The canal offers Western governments a superior alternative to the Suez Canal, which will solidify their control over the world's most crucial shipping route. To construct the canal, Israel must reroute it to avoid Gaza, preventing potential economic growth in the Palestinian territory. The Gaza Strip is seen as problematic for the canal project, so Israel wants to take over Gaza in the name of self-defense and use the land for their canal project. And the cheapest way to build this canal is by using nuclear explosives.
To be honest, everything to the left of the canal, they should just give to the Palestinians, like, and maybe give them a little bit of money from it, like every year from the canal being there. Displace them a little bit, but just give them. I'm gonna play it until we get back to that, showing that map again, because I want to show you what I'm talking about.
This will bring in billions of dollars, but it will come at the cost of millions of innocent Palestinian lives.
Yo, that made me
Historically,
mad.
Arab countries used the Suez Canal to pressure the West. But the new canal gives the West more flexibility in Middle East. This allows them to destabilize Middle East and expand their imperialism. Why West supports Israel unconditionally. Western governments support Israel because of humanity. Also because of the Ben Gurion Canal Project, which is Israel's initiative to construct.
Ben Gurion. I should look that up. That is crazy. I'm gonna take a peek real quick. Ben Gurion. Ben Gurion Canal. And then let's see how much is completed. It's a vision amidst upheaval. Basically, the Palestinians ain't moving. I need a better picture than that. Like, a better picture. Basically trying to build this canal. Can y'all see it? Let me see. So basically trying to build a canal. Take away from the Suez Canal right here, I think. And like I said, they probably trying to create more separate. What I was saying though is, why don't they just give this little slice of the pie to the Palestinians? How big is Israel? Well, Israel is probably about, I don't know. Israel looking kind of chunky. Like from, if you give this little place to the Palestinians, bro, greedy motherfuckers, give that to them and say, look, or like we gotta push y'all a little bit to the left, but y'all can have this land. But you already know how what Israel gonna do. They're gonna then start squeezing them even more and push them. They're gonna go at the end of it. Palestine gonna be like a little bit slither slab, a little slice by the line over here. They're gonna head them up against the wall. Pause. All right, let's get back to the other John. I'm about to get off this John because y'all get the point, man. I got videos for days on this. Let's go back.
Construct a new canal aimed to.
As I said, I should just give them this little area right here. If this is Palestine, if y'all didn't already bully them into this little ass spot, maybe give them more of a slice down to like here. Like give them like this. Give them a little beach too. I'm saying that's why I'm like, don't totally displace them from the beach. Give them a little bit of the beach for the resorts, for their resorts. Have it tie in with y'all resorts. Y'all get some money together and give them like this little area. Almost, I wouldn't say this whole thing, but just maybe, you know what I mean? Nice little chunk. Better than this. If this is all they ever, they got y'all up. They about to push y'all into the sea. That's fucked up, yo. They ain't shit, yo. Let's keep going.
Boost their economy. It's
guy trying to pull some bullshit, Tony. Hey, ZZ Top.
I know a lot of these videos gonna get me hit for motherfucking copyright. You hating on my I was about to say Goyim, but I think they say Goyim is us. No, hating on my, but we know who they really is. They Gentiles. They ain't y'all Gentiles like us. Who knows who the chosen people is? Get the fuck out of here. Like, it ain't y'all. But I don't know. I got some research to make them go back. But if I'm just going deep on y'all. If God said the Jews or the Israelites or the chosen people, right? What God? Good God? Evil God? Who what God? To me, it seems like it was many gods. And who told y'all that? Like, so a God might have said that. I don't know about there's an almighty good God, but who told y'all that? They might have told them that, but is it a good guy or an evil guy? So that's my take on it. And they say Gentiles, they ain't shit, and we goyim or some shit. But y'all Khazars, y'all from sons of Japheth, whoever how you pronounce it. Y'all from Gomer, y'all from Turkey. Y'all not from Shem or Ham, because Abraham was Abraham Ham. So I don't know. Let me not go too deep. But anyway, yeah, rock and roll, baby. Let's get this copyright. Them niggas was crawling out the sewers in New York, like the tight. They I think they love that. I said they ancestors was in them underground cities, underground city caves, and up in Turkey. So that's what they used to. What's wrong with that? Some little Ninja Turtle action out the sewer. What's wrong with that? Like, if the sewers was kind of clean and nice, yeah, I'd be going down there. It feel like the sewer, these little sewerways under these cities all over America, they kind of feel like the dark web of the internet. They the dark web of the streets. You walking down the streets, nice and bright, but underground is another dark city. Ninja Turtles, Master Splinter, and them. They down there, like they said Las Vegas got one of them too, little underground city. But it's like it basically is the sewer system. Go down there, live down there. I don't know if do it stink down there like crazy. Now. As I said, that shit, I ain't trying to pay no bills. If I can live there. I eat enough pizza. I might as well go get my Ninja Turtle on. I'm coming, Jews. Y'all down there? Can I come? I'm just saying, like, y'all in the sewers. Oh, you seen it when they floated into the towers? I don't want to go too far in conspiracy theories. I'm just going to let it rock. I want to keep playing it, but this music probably already got me 2 strikes. I'm going to have to delete that part out of the video. All right, let's go.
Before you do it, and they're like they're brain dead. Well, we did a good job with the public school system. We got you to put all of your children in there. You notice that the Jew doesn't put his children in there. They go to the Hebrew Academy where we teach them the real things, and then they go to...
Facts. Have you ever really noticed, like really them committed Jews, like they go to the Sabbath and everything, like them convert Jews or like white Jews? But like have you ever really seen them in schools? Like, I've never really noticed anyone that was just like, and they they wear that they hat and they had their little side locks, fake locks. But I've never really noticed it. So that's what I say. I think that we've always thought of they do keep their kids in a separate private schools, like, which is crazy. But if you want to conquer the world, that's what you're supposed to do.
To the synagogue and they learn the real important things. But we send your kids to the public school. We even have you tax yourself from your property so that you never own your property. And so if you don't make your property tax, we're going to take your property. You can bet on that. And we have you put your kid in a 12-year babysitting is about all it does, because you don't learn anything. And then by that time, the kids, they get to be teenagers, and then we give them the music. Not that we really want to call it music, because, oy vey, that's not music. But they listen to that, and then they want to do what they want to do, and so we sell them drugs, and we make a lot of money off your children. Your children from cradle to grave, all we do is make money off of them. Your cattle, your goyim, the human cattle. Muzzle before you do it.
You motherfucker talking shit, huh? Yeah, but let them talk his shit. Like I'm saying, freedom of speech, man. You was talking big shit. Like you talking shit, huh?
La, watch how I turn my whole country right. I can't believe that the Jews did 9/11. So
I want to play the music, even though it's a remix. They still might bang me for that. This all the years they talk like they keep getting kicked. They've been getting kicked out of different countries and nations for thousands of years. This John detailing. I'm sure if I stopped and looked up each one of these, it sure would be some crazy shit. I mean, so is that getting bullied? I'm on their side on this one. Like, damn, like I said, no one's forcing y'all to take these loans and it's like if I go take out a loan with crazy interest rates and I default on the loan and fuck up, I can't go kick the bank out the fucking city. Like, no, you gotta get out. Like that's basically like that's like you gambling and you lost and now you want to kick the motherfucker off the block, or you want to fight or shoot or kill the motherfucker because you gamble. Like you did it. I ain't do that. A loan is damn near like a gamble. If you know you can win, shit, place that bet. If you know you can pay that money back. But if they keep going in all these nations all these years, no one's forced them to do that. Like, unless they doing something extra weird. I mean, with the trans shit, and I mean, you know, don't come in our country like bringing those type of ideologies if we don't want that in our country. But as far as the banking, no one put a gun in your head and made y'all take these loans, or did they? So I don't know. But is this bullying? Y'all, they keep kicking them out of every country. Like, damn, y'all bullied them.
we get arrested when we ask the wrong questions. Turn up the pressure, put their hoaxes under scrutiny.
Damn near every year they getting kicked out somewhere. That's fucked up. That's crazy. Niggas can't settle nowhere. They doing pretty good right now because they everywhere now. Like they embedded in everything. Basically they the banks. They the big bank take little bank. Damn, up to what? When is it gonna stop? That's when they took over. 1938 or 45, around 1950. When they just finally took over, like, y'all ain't kicking us out shit now. Like, you know what I mean? It's over with. Federal Reserve, motherfucker. Federal Reserve probably was a big move to where it was like, it's a wrap.
Internet's biggest adult entertainment website. A rabbi, a Christian priest, or a Muslim imam, or any other religion would never associate with things like that. And it's not just that one site either. Leonid Radvinsky is a Zio who runs OnlyFans. Zios own our entire media, and not just the news media or entertainment media and sports media, but also the adult entertainment media too.
That's why everyone's seem like they're discovering that a lot of these CEOs or things of that nature, or Khazars, I'm saying, they call them J-Dubs. We're gonna call them J-Dubs. The converts. A lot of these J-Dubs, they freaks. I'm gonna stop by, but they might run the industry. I mean, they might. I mean, they is freaks, but they is doing some freaky shit too behind. But they be kissing fucking babies, newborn babies during baptisms or no christenings, kissing little baby dicks. Like, YouTube don't hurt me for that. Like, I'm just saying that's what they be doing. They be doing. They be kissing baby dicks, like some weird, super weird shit. Like, but anyway, they run a lot of these countries, and they might not be freaks though, but they capitalists. So if they see that humanity is some freak, it's us. This another instance where you mad at them because we clicked on Pornhub. Like, you mad at the owners of Pornhub, like, oh, the owners of Pornhub are pushing this freak ass content on us, why you click on it and watch it? Like, what the fuck? Like, so, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They see that humans are freaked out and they can be influenced. So yeah, I mean, we gonna make some freak sites for y'all. Get that money up. It's all about the money. They want your money. Get the money up. Because money is currency, energy. You know, currency is energy. Money is currency. So let's keep it 100. You feel good when you on payday, don't you? Yo, real shit. On payday, you feel good, don't you? You feel good. The couple of days before payday, maybe when your money's running low, if you don't got money saved up, you feel bad, don't you? So money is currency, and it's like they want to drain you of your energy because we've attached our souls to money. So that's what makes us happy. Just to have it. We don't even care if we spend it or not. Just to have money makes us happy. But anyway, let me shut up.
They make tons of money exploiting women and put that money back into lobbyist groups to help control America. And they do this with no moral restraint either. They make sure to capitalize it. Girls as young as 18, 19 years old, straight out of high school, they try to pull into their industry. We shouldn't even have teenagers in that industry. You have to be 21 years old to buy a drink at a bar because we acknowledge teenagers are too young to make major decisions in their life. And they trick young girls into this industry, and then afterwards they can't get professional career jobs. That's exploitation, and they just don't give a damn. They just see us as goyim to make as much money as they can off of us. And it's also Zios who are tricking and trafficking Eastern European women into Israel, and there they're forced to spend the rest of their life in a brothel for the profit and entertainment of other Zios. And all these accusations, they're not even new. 60 years ago, Samuel Roth, a Zio, who fought against American morality and American good culture to push adult entertainment, books, and magazines. And these accusations existed in old Soviet Russia too, and also 90 years ago in Germany. And in Germany, just like today, they're not just exploiting women.
Watch how I turn my whole country.
Like I said, why you clicking on the freak shit? Like, why is humanity like this? Why is a girl, as soon as she hit 18, she gets on OnlyFans and spreads her legs now? Like, is that the new thing now? They talking about like damn near 1 out of every 10 women you see got an OnlyFans. Like, you freak ass crowd of people. So you walk through a crowd, every 1 out of 10 chicks got an OnlyFans. Like, why is that the thing? So somebody was gonna capitalize on it. It's what's the thing that we used to say in Germantown about hustling. Because hustling scar your soul, man. Like, but it's like the thing. A lot of times the phrase used to be with anything. If you don't sell it to them, somebody else will. And that's a fucked up phrase to apply to everything, but it's the truth. But that was horrible to feel like that, but that was a motivation for us as far as hustling. Like, if you don't sell that shit to us, somebody else will. So it's like if they didn't capitalize on the porn industry, somebody else would have. So this is another. This is another one. I'm in favor of the converts on this one. I'm in favor of them on this one. Like, why are we so freaked out? Why we got half porn? It's our fault though, to let out intrusive thoughts. Know what I mean?
Right.
Know what I mean? All right, let me wrap this video up. I got a lot of shit though. All right, let's keep going. Let's just go fly through it. Let's go. I'm gonna skip some shits.
If anyone ever read Mein Kampf from Hitler, Hitler tells the world why he hates Jews. He says the Jews created communism. Jews are taking advantage of you. And people said, how? He says the Jews are the ones that are in control of all of the banks that are lending you with high interest. And everybody said yes. Why? Because it was true. The Jews destroyed the economy in Germany by simply lending money with high interest. People that cannot meet this demand, the business is not growing as high as they thought it was going to grow, ended up closing down shop and saying, listen, I'm defaulting, and declare bankruptcy. You have to start all over. But now they found out, oh, the guy that did all of this to me, he's not blaming himself. He has to blame somebody else. Oh, it was the Jewish guy. When Hitler says, yeah, all of the lending is from the Jews, everybody joined him. Overnight, a loser named Hitler that never had anything significant of meaning became a world leader that's very powerful. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you didn't listen to the warnings, now here's a message. 500 years before that in Spain, the same thing happened. 900 years in England, it happened. 1186. The Jewish people were doing really well financially. Primary business, lending money. Ignoring the Torah rules. One day, the leader of the place goes on vacation. They're going to decide to start mass murdering Jewish people in the streets. Why? We're tired of paying you interest. We're tired of doing this. This, Rabotai Karim, is repeating the same.
See, I don't agree with that. If y'all took them folk money, agreed to a deal, no matter how much the interest rates is, you did it. You didn't have to do it. You want to starving. They cool. They ain't need the money. And because you couldn't pay back the loan, so you start trying to delete them and kick them out and all types of shit like that. That's fucked up. I can't get like that's like you loan somebody money and because you check it in once a month. Hey, you got that little bit of money to pay back for the month. You might be in installments, $50 a month until you pay it all back. You got that money, and because they don't got the money or they don't want to pay it, they just kill you. Like, hey yo, like, that's why don't be no loan shark unless you bought that business. Because like I can't cap. That's what it sounded like a lot of these places though. They might have been scheming and plotting and scamming, but you ain't had to go along with the scam. If somebody call me right now and try to scam me and I give him my information, like, that's on me, right?
Story over and over again. If anyone ever read Mein Kampf from Hitler, Hitler tells the world why he hates Jews. He says, the Jews created communism. Jews are taking advantage of you. And people said, how? He says, the Jews are the ones that are in control of all of the banks that are lending you with high interest. And everybody said yes. Why? Because it was true. The Jews destroyed the economy in Germany by simply lending money with high interest. People that cannot meet this demand, the business is not growing as high as they thought it was going to grow, ended up closing down shop and saying, listen.
I mean, I'll be the same way too. If I'm loaning you money, I want something back. If it's family or somebody close, maybe I ain't gonna want no interest or nothing on it. Just pay it back. But if I'm just loaning you money, yeah, give me $20 back on top of that, $50 back, $100. It depends on if it's a big loan. Like, yeah, give me a couple $100 back on it. I'll give you fucking $1,000 and shit. Give me $1,200 back. Like, you know what I mean? Don't agree to it. You starving, not me. I'm on the convert side right here. I'm on their side.
I'm defaulting and declare bankruptcy. You have to start all over. But now they found out, oh, the guy that did all of this to me, he's not blaming himself. He has to blame somebody else. Oh, it was the Jewish guy. When Hitler says, yeah, all of the lending is from the Jews, everybody joined him. Overnight, a loser named Hitler that never had anything significant of meaning became a world leader that's very powerful. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you didn't listen to the warnings, now here's the message. 500 years before that in Spain, the same thing happened. 900 years in England, it happened. 1186. The Jewish people were doing really well financially. Primary business, lending money.
Nobody has ever analyzed why the German nation that had more Nobel Prize winners and more famous researchers and scientists and was one of the best educated countries in Europe turn on the Jews. Why did these good Germans turn on the Jews, who had more Jews living amongst them than even percentage-wise living in the United States today? Why was that? Because they displayed the same voracious ethnocentrism, power-grabbing, influence-peddling, buying of politicians, dominating of the public airwaves and the public media in Germany and so on. that they display in the United States. And I'm not much of a prophet, but that much I can say based on history, that in the United States, mark my word, you will have Weimar conditions and you'll have solutions to the Weimar conditions. It'll be very similar to what happened in Germany. The United States is heading in the same direction. And there's only one difference. In the United States, there are enough guns out on the street and enough lawlessness in the public and a revolutionary spirit that...
I mean, if they, like I said, if they just doing money lending and loans and stuff, yeah, cool. But if they're influencing on politics, if they're actually behind a lot of this liberal, leftist, weirdy Democrat shit that seems like it's controlling our matrix right now, yeah, y'all doing too much. So like, that's where the problem comes in. If y'all infiltrating governments, y'all got politician lobbyists and paying them off the past shit for y'all and different things, like, that's doing too much. Like that's a bit much. So yeah, if you getting money, yeah, cool. People, but if you're doing too much and you passing weird gender ideology and if you behind that shit too, like, yeah, see, y'all doing too much. Know what I mean?
Founded that republic. This is not Germany, where the only people that had guns were hunters and soldiers and policemen. The United States is armed to the teeth. They have a spirit of revolution in their blood. Their heroes are people who turned against what they call tyranny and foreign occupiers and so on. Nobody.
Nah, I mean. Let's keep going.
The Birth of a Nation, Israel, 1940. The film Tantura. Have you heard of this?
I saw that clip.
So this is supposedly Israeli soldiers.
Buddhist.
If you killed, you did a good thing. I was willing to kill, and I didn't talk to anybody about it. What about your wife? I assume you lived with her for many years. You didn't talk about it? I never told her. What would I tell her? That I was a murderer?
Oh, my bad. I ain't know switching shit on fucking StreamYard cut the audio, Sue. That's a downfall for you, StreamYard. Come on, y'all gotta get better. Y'all gotta let the background video keep playing audio.
And then he laughs.
Yeah, well, that would be crazy to say that.
And then he laughs. He's laughing.
And that's why those women were screaming at Jackson so much, because they didn't know.
Undoubtedly, it was a combination of all kinds of things. Of vengeance and cruelty, and people who some people came from the death camps. The question is, what happened there? And that people were in such a trance that they, based on several testimonies, they released their anger on everyone they saw. He took a step back, he took out a gun, and bang, 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 he killed them all, says this guy. They removed them from their pajamas, from their homes in their pajamas. They took them like cows in front of them, and they killed them. During the battle, if someone raised their hands, I didn't take captives.
It's talking about when they basically invaded the current named land of Palestine, when the state of Israel was set up and helped by UK, Great Britain, Rothschilds, Rockefeller, whoever the damn families was that helped them. They basically just came and invaded and displaced, and sounds like genocide a little bit, buddy. So yeah, that's pretty fucked up. So he's basically commenting on some of the Israeli guards or whoever was sent in there to clear the place out. You know what I mean? And they're basically talking like it ain't no big deal. Is it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was fun.
How many people do you think you killed this way? They asked this guy. I didn't count. And he laughs. I can't really know. This guy, listen to this. He grabbed a woman, young and good looking, went into a house, prepared a bedroom, and wanted to F her. The girl came back half dead like a rag. One guy raped a 16-year-old girl or something of the sort, this guy says. They're all kind of laughing and smiling as they say this too.
Is like
but they're all giggling. He's giggling about them
like
raping a 16-year-old.
If you watch,
and that's what I was told Hamas did and why I'm supposed to hate them. But apparently their country was founded on this, and they're all giggling about it. So watch. You understand? But this is very ugly. Oh, really? As you laugh. There was one guy, he passed away. He was a savage, he says. He just took them and murdered them in this enclosure. You know, surrounded by barbed wire. All the men were rounded up. They were all sitting on the ground. And someone comes and takes a machine gun and starts and then reloads the cartridge. What do you think? And some guys took flamethrowers and ran after people and incinerated them.
He's smiling.
He's smiling and laughing. It was horrifying. It's forbidden to tell. I'm not going to talk about it because, well, you are talking about it. He goes, listen, war is war. That's how they all just justify all this. Not everyone can know what war is.
Did we have a Nuremberg trial about this? What is and isn't war?
That doesn't sound like war to me. War is when you're actually fighting against another soldier. This sounds like you're just slaughtering civilians. And I say whoever wasn't there can't judge anyone else. I'm pretty sure we can.
Well, I mean,
that is, if you can watch that and still support Zionism, you're a special kind of evil.
People don't know.
Birth of a nation.
I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure we all know what happened. Like everyone, this is nothing new. The world knows what happened. It's like, I don't know. Know what I mean? It's a, all right, let's get the, boom, yeah. It's a, this the meme off of fucking, what the fuck is the name of the show? I forgot the name of the show. God damn, it's fucked up. All right, Dad, why do all the presidents have to wear that hat and kiss the wall? It's real shit. Like, so when you got a president, you better go over there and kiss their ass. The wall is their ass. You better go over there and kiss their ass, Mr. President. They're gonna start trouble.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
I already know this music gonna get me.
No, as we in the West have learned about it over a period of the last half century, simply did not take place.
Not anywhere in the grotesque numbers and figures and methods, as was, for instance, recently displayed by the film Schindler's List. It's totally inaccurate.
Totally inaccurate.
Inaccurate.
The number of Jews who died under the Nazis, says Zundel and the other deniers, was nothing like 6 million.
I put the figure at the lower 300,000 range.
That's all.
That's right.
And they
I'm seeing numbers of the whole population of that time was about 500,000 to 1 million the most. So these numbers are adding up pretty. It wasn't 6 million.
Died of what? Illnesses, disease, mistreatment. Some have had medical experiments performed on them. Overwork.
Nobody was gassed.
No.
But if only 300,000 Jews died, then what happened to the rest of the 6 million who were missing after the war? Zundel says they were secretly spirited off to the Soviet Union, to Israel, and the United States.
Unregistered. They were just allowed into the United States.
And this is all hidden from the American people.
For the time being, yes.
And all of the testimony we've heard through the years by literally thousands of survivors, talking of everything from death camps to execution squads to gassings, that's all made up.
It is a rumor that, like any other rumor, grew as more and more people prospered as a result of the rumor.
So all of us are caught up in a great fraud.
A deception. A great deception.
Perpetrated by what you call the Holocaust
lobby.
And who benefits from this lobby?
Israel has immensely benefited from it because the state of Israel's budget at one time, up until quite recently in the 80s, used to be 30-40% guilt money from Germany.
Every Jewish person who, in the Second World War who died of whatever cause is considered, quote, a victim of the Holocaust. That is, Jews who died even in Allied bombing.
What you're saying is that the Holocaust...
I don't know. Don't be hating on them boys.
Son of New York, Sunday, June the 6th, 19...
So it's basically someone posting something about a newspaper posted in 1915 before World War II, basically already stirring up some type of victimish. 6 million of us were killed by who around 1915 if World War II ain't started yet. So basically they've been cooking up the lie, and then World War II happened, and the lie was easy to just take hold. Like, oh yeah, the 6 million right there. I mean, it might have been that much over all the time, and them kicking them out of every country they go to, keeping it 100.
15. This is 18 years before Hitler ever set foot in the government. There it is, people. 6 million Jews. The New York Times, October the 18th, 1918. And the article is called $1 billion Fund to Rebuild Jewry. There it is.
1 billion in 1918? Jeez. That's before World War II, so y'all been already giving them money. Well, of course they've been giving the money. The fucking banks run the shit already. Like, that's what I say, like, ain't nothing wrong to say that. Ain't nothing wrong to say that, and you know who run the bank. So, like, let me just, like, it ain't nothing wrong. Both can be true. Like, it's not anti-emicism, whatever that word is. All right, let's go.
6 million souls will need help to resume normal life when war is ended. The New York Times, September the 8th, 1919. And the article is called Ukrainian Jews Aim to Stop Pogroms. Mass meeting here that 127,000 Jews have been killed and 6 million. Son.
Where? But the weirdo. Before World War II. All right, let's keep going.
When is kosher wine not kosher?
Basically, they say they don't want black people touching their wine. This Netanyahu, a young Netanyahu talking shit like America can't do shit. I'm just summarizing each one for y'all.
As to the origin of the present Jews in Palestine, he states that those Jews derived from Eastern Europe, and many of the Jews that today live in the reconstituted state of Israel come from Eastern Europe, are not descendants of the Judeans or the lost tribes of Israel, but rather descendants of the Khazars. Who are they? They were a nation most people do not even know of. He writes, the so-called self-styled Jews in Eastern Europe in modern history cannot legitimately point to a single ancient ancestor who ever set even a foot on the soil of Palestine in the era of Bible history. Research also revealed that the so-called or self-styled Jews in Eastern Europe were never Semites, are not Semites now, nor can they ever be regarded as Semites at any future time by any stretch of the imagination. As to the origin of the present Jews in Palestine, he states that those Jews derived from Eastern Europe, and many of the Jews that today live in the reconstituted state of Israel come from Eastern Europe, are not descendants of the Judeans or the lost tribes of Israel, but rather descendants of the Khazars. Who are
When God gave us the Torah, the Gentiles were jealous of us. They feel that we think we're elitist, we think we're the chosen people, which, by the way, we are. We do think we're elitist. We are the chosen people. They think that we think only we are the children of God, and we do think that. And we're not embarrassed to say, only the Jewish people are the children of God. The nations of the world are not the children of God. They're not God's children. They're God's creations. They're created with Tselem Elokim. They're not God's children. And this creates a certain jealousy, and they don't like that. In other words, there's an ethnical reason. They feel that we are elitist. We think of ourselves as better than them, which we do. And therefore, they hate us. What can we do? God selected us, you know? Yeah, good. God selected us. So these are the two reasons for anti-Semitism. One is what Rashi says. Rashi says, Amar Rav Shimon Echai, Halacha hi v'yadua, se'esav soinei liYaakov, that what's the reason for it? There's no reason. It is. God, the reason for anti-Semitism, according to Rashi, is that it's just a law. It's a law of nature. There's gravity, and there's, the theory of relativity, and then there's anti-Semitism.
What? But whatever, talking shit. Jewish soul boy. I mean, be talking that shit, but he did do that quick little blink right there when he said, "We are God's children," and he did like that quick blink that I swear people be lying every time they do it. You gotta catch it, like do a little quick blink because you know they lying. But I mean, talk his shit. Know what I'm saying? He telling you how he feel. One thing I got out of it is like, we think we're better than you. Good, okay, but you just like us in return because of that. Bad, you're bad. Like that's crazy, right? Like, or any more? I probably got countless others. I need to get off this live. Like, y'all get the point. We love our Khazarian brothers. Like, we love you. You can tell I'm about to get off the show. Like we didn't mean all this that we just watched. We love you.
Only an American Jew. What an old.
Looks like maybe one of them dudes talking shit.
You guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us.
What? Look at that shit. Oh, he's talking shit. All right.
And then came the decline of our culture.
Bro, his shit, when they translate that shit to English, that mustache man can't cap. That nigga be spitting though.
These mounds of contamination of our entire cultural life, the decomposition of our literature, the poisoning of our theater, of our movie theaters, all the art is now falling for it. Millions of Germans no longer participate any longer. It does not appeal to them anymore. This art was not born from our people. It is foreign to us and will remain foreign. That has nothing to do with the German character and did not come from our soul. It was imposed on our people by a subversive press, which made it acceptable. And parallel to this, already the assault begins against the education of our children's brains. The tearing out all the memories of our German past, the insult to all the great men of our people, the removal of its memory from the hearts and brain out of the German youth.
Bro, say that motherfucker just wasn't spitting. Like, ain't that exactly what's happening today in America? Like, ain't exactly what he's talking about? Exactly what's happening in America? Like, that's, thank God, God bless America. Trump is president. Put an end to that bullshit, that Democrat liberal weirdo shit. Yo, he was spitting, man. Like, I'm gonna come back to this, John. He's spitting.
So the white man is enacting a story all over the world. We left our homes and flooded the world. We smothered culture. We smothered knowledge. We erased history and rewrote it our way. Myself, my grandfather is 100% Ashkenazi Jewish. Claiming to be Jewish, Ashkenazi Jewish is just a conspiracy. White men claiming to be of tribes of Israel when I'm Germanic. I have no ties to Israel, no ties to Judaism.
it's a loosely written history that's been whitewashed over for centuries, and it's the Renaissance. Oh yeah, right. You wipe everything clean. It's funny how exactly the Renaissance. It's this rebirth, but it's white rebirth. I think at the same exact time the Renaissance is happening, Columbus is sailing to America and committing genocide.
He was spitting. Can't even care. That white young fella, American hero. Where he from?
Is this what I am? Is this what I am? Is this what I am? Is this what I am?
Yes. All right, looks like that's all we got for you, guys. It's basically a lot of we close to the end. Let's just keep going. 10 more minutes, 5 more minutes.
Rothschilds? Yeah, they were actually the bankers in Germany. They were essentially the money changers.
That's anti-Semitic.
Meyer Amschel Bauer, born in Frankfurt, Germany in 1744, was a moneylender and a goldsmith on Jew Street, whose shop had a sign out front with a red hexagram on it. Eventually, he would change his name to Rothschild, which is German for red sign. Rothschild soon learned that loaning money to governments and kings was more profitable than loaning money to private individuals. Not only were the loans bigger, but they were secured by the nation's taxes. Meyer Rothschild had 5 sons whom he trained in the skills of money creation and sent out to the major capitals of Europe to open branches of the family banking business.
Essentially pumping and dumping both sides of the market, rigged in their favor.
You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers, so that when money is to be sent from here to London, let us say.
The Rothschilds? Yeah, they were actually the bankers in Germany. They were essentially the money changers.
That's anti-Semitic.
That's funny.
The most respected newspaper in Israel is the Jerusalem Post. The headline reads, Yosef, Gentiles exist only to serve Jews. Rabbi Yosef is the former Sephardic chief rabbi of Israel and the foremost rabbinical authority in Israel. Quote, the sole purpose of non-Jews is to serve Jews. Goyim were born only to serve us. They have no place in the world, only to serve the people.
Like, can't that be labeled like anti-human? Like, we talking about anti-Semitism. Like, isn't that like, can't it be like some international like anti-humane defamation act? Like, because at some point, like, you're just talking shit to me, and I can't talk shit back to you. Like,
these people honestly believe that they are the descendants of gods, that they are the chosen, that they are God's special people, that we are delusional, and that the true creator is this wisdom principle that they think of as Lucifer. That wisdom principle gave us ancient mystery school teachings, and that the enemy, which they call Adonai, the adversary, which we would call the Christian God, came to try to defeat them. Then they even take it a step further and they look at texts like the Bible and they say that where it says in the end times that God will take the money from the wicked and restore it to the just, that we as a planet are the wicked and they are the just. So this is how they justify their financial corruption. They don't believe that we deserve the money. In fact, they believe that if they did not dominate us and if they did not control us and play all these games, that we left to our own devices would destroy our planet. So in some twisted rationale, they believe they are saving the earth. They believe humans are bad for the environment. We cause pollution, so they have to reduce population. Then they seed that into movies like The Matrix, where Agent Smith says that that humans are like a virus on the planet. This is one of a variety of ways in which they will usually embed their teachings into the villain. These people...
Oh, stop hating. You're a hater.
Why? Because I'm a Jew and I'm your boss.
You're funny. I swear this is exactly how it is. And it's like pointing out the obvious is like anti-Khazarian. We're gonna say anti-Khazarian. No, remember I said J-dubs. Anti-J-dub. Like, because it's like we can dive deep on everything in it, and all roads lead back to Israel. Like, what the fuck? This the caption says, when thousands of hours researching different conspiracies all lead back to the same perpetrators. He looks upset too. I don't know if y'all gonna see this clearly on YouTube side. He looks upset. What's this from? Lord of the Rings? Where's this from? It can't be. This is some bullshit. Pretty sure copyrights got me on that one. That's fucked up. I mean, Epstein. Well, obviously his name Epstein. Anything with Steen or Stein. Seinfeld. Yo, that crazy about that Hollywood producer or actor, whatever. I forgot what boy name. Basically adopted a little girl and then end up marrying her. Like that's kind of crazy. That's crazy, man. Basically, he was SA-ing her, assaulting her. That's fucked up. Say, why have Jews been kicked out of 109 countries 1,030 times? So they spun the block and get kicked out 2-3 times, different times from the same country. That's wild, bro. Damn, they money. Stop trying to kick them out. Y'all some haters. All right, that's basically all I got, man. Y'all get the point, man. We love our Ashkenazi Khazarian brothers. Like, I don't care what they say, man. Y'all cool to me, man. I mean, y'all greedy, but you probably did some atrocities. Know what I'm saying? But you can have a clean slate if you just pay reparations to the entire world, you greedy motherfuckers. Is that anti-Semitism? Saying pay reparations, motherfuckers. You niggas been swindling. Shit. Pat them pockets. We have to check them pockets. We let you live. Get that money up. You niggas ain't shit. Like, and not the human low level like humans. Like let me talk to y'all real quick. And not the human low level type humans, like the elites, the royal family scumbags. Unfortunately, y'all Jews. Now, if y'all was mixed up, some Mexicans, some Australians, some Asians, they'd be like, yeah. But it's just a fact that the main culprits all are y'all, like, or y'all leaders or elites that y'all. I wonder if the Israel people, like, just the common man, like, supports a lot of basically colonizing. Would they? I mean, I guess for most part, recipients of colonizations ain't trying to denounce it because they reaping the benefits of it. So I don't know, man. Stop fighting. Put the guns down. I mean, stop taking them loans from them. Shit. And basically, people keep taking money from them to be on their side and be lobbyists for politicians, and it's our fault. It's like when the devil show up at your fucking door, you let him in. I mean, not saying don't let him in your country, but you took the loans from him. I'm on their side a little bit right now. I'm flipping. They flipped me right now. Like y'all, they flipped me, man. I'm just keep 100, man. They flipped me. Like these motherfuckers. They flipped me, man. You like my thumbnail? What's going down, man? Stay woke. This has been part 2. It is what it is, man. You better go see that new Avengers movie. They're gonna have a Hail Hydra, Captain America on there, and we already know who they gonna represent. Hey, that's who they gonna represent. Represent, y'all. All right, man. Check me out. Subscribe, like the channel. Blah blah blah. I've been on here too long anyway. I ain't shit. So we out of here.
And then came the decline of our culture. These mounds of contamination of our entire cultural life, the decomposition of our literature, the poisoning of our theater, of our movie theaters. All the art is now falling for it. Millions of Germans no longer participate any longer. It does not appeal to them anymore. This art was not born from our people. It is foreign to us and will remain foreign. That has nothing to do with the German character and did not come from our soul. It was imposed on our people by a subversive press, which made it acceptable. And parallel to this, already the assault begins against the education of our children's brains. The tearing out all the memories of our German past, the insult to all the great men of our people, the removal of its memory from the hearts and brain out of the German youth. And then came the decline of our culture.